Okay, 1 2 testing. Now you can hear me, right?
Hold on.
1 2 testing. 1 2.
Okay, one, two,
Yeah.
testing.
Now you hear me. Okay. Can somebody please send? I can't see the chat here. Can you send me the link?
I'm gonna share this link now.
Okay. I think everybody can hear me now. Breathe. Escucho todo. Okay. The only thing I can't see is the live chat. Okay, now I can see the live chat. Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, mobilers. Excuse me for that. It's lucky my job isn't connecting YouTube channels all day long, and my job is to connect the unconnected. I really appreciate the patience and the support of everybody. Thank you very much. So I will start today's AMA with a brief update on what's happening at World Mobile. Starting with Zanzibar, moving into Kenya, and then more regionally. I will not be talking about exchanges, although we are talking to exchanges, because that is against the NDAs that we are under and also against the advice of our legal team. However, we are speaking about exchanges, when exchanges. So in Zanzibar, we've got an update. The eGov team are working very strong with us and RJ and our partners out there. We're working towards the blue economy. We're working towards maritime vessels, fleets using our spectrum for IoT floated by balloons to be able to combat illegal fishing around Zanzibar and Tanzanian waters. And all of this, as I said, will be powered by WM's connectivity. And we hope to see trials before Christmas this year. In addition, we have a very good potential crypto event happening in Zanzibar. It could be the first World Mobile Conference, and it could also be with a world-class partner, which will help to make Zanzibar even more on the radar, on the map, than they are for blockchain. We've identified around 100 sites that, partly in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and private businesses, where we'll be able to lay down more mesh network and have a huge amount of coverage. And we've also agreed that we will fund, along with Iohk, 300 laptops for the Fardani school, which you saw in the videos recently. There's lots more going on in Zanzibar, but they're the key highlights. In addition to Zanzibar, in Kenya, we've got technical trials lining up. 2 huge farming groups with multi-millions of users available to World Mobile who need connectivity and identity. We've got an MOU with a payment product gateway service vendor with over 300, 400,000 users that would be brought onto our application and also using DIDs. Our license applications are all in progress. That's for our e-money, our mobile network operator license, and our ISP licenses, and we're waiting to hear back. We've got a massive air node and mesh network deployment being designed just outside of a major city in Kenya. And we're talking to mini grids to collaborate and connect up users on their home and their grids and to give them connectivity. We're also working on something in the public transport sector. And we have also developed our relationships with the Microsoft Airband team and also a Google X project that we're working with. We have MOUs and we're starting statements of work this month. For the rest of Africa regionally, we are collaborating and looking at potential joint ventures with major aggregation partners, banking, as well as also some crypto exchanges for on-ramp and off-ramp of World Mobile Token and World Mobile Money. We're also working with the Loon people, the former team there, to pick up on where Google left off in Kenya and around. We're looking for spectrum. Spectrum is a national resource, very expensive to buy. So we're working with local partners, local entities, mobile network operators, in order to be able to leverage their situation with spectrum and our new form of technology and how we float the network. So it's a win-win. We've launched our first balloon into the stratosphere, so footage will come back really soon so you can understand the event. We successfully sent up a payload and we communicated with that payload. And maybe we'll sell off that balloon as an NFT towards the community fund once we finish with it. But it's a very big move from World Mobile and literally out of the earth and into the stratosphere. I've been to Dubai. I've been there to speak to exchanges. And I've also been there to talk about business with a very well-reputed and well-known mobile network operator. And I think probably that is the updates for now. Lots and lots and lots is going on. Alan is in East Coast America right now, along with Charles and Emmanuel. They're working with our partners out there to acquire and to look and to test and to run trials on the aerostats that we've bought, that we're going to be launching in Kenya and Zanzibar. And we're progressing hugely on all those fronts. So it's an exciting time for World Mobile. It's a shame about the stream and the way that it started. I thank you again for your patience. And now I will look at the questions coming in and hand it over to an AMA. I have government contacts in Burkina Faso and Senegal. How can I work with World Mobile to extend their services in these territories? You can reach out to Andy at World Mobile, and he will push it to the regulation team and the country assessment team. But contacts are great, and thank you very much. Karen Singh, hey mate, are you planning to spread out to developed countries, i.e. Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands? Absolutely, yes. We are. Actually, Zach in the chat is not just looking for his whistle or asking for people to help him find his whistle, but he's also head of the Australasian affairs, and we're progressing pretty fast on some kind of proof of concept in this region, in this continent. When Zanzibar crypto event? Well, don't hold me to it, but we're looking at April, May next year. Any ETA on the exchange arrivals 2021? Yes. Hello, Mickens. Greetings. Oh, James. Hello to you too. Greetings from Barcelona. When will the SIM card be available? We have a few thousand people roaming around on the SIM card right now. It is available under private trial. If you would like to be able to get one, then please do contact again Andy or Alan directly, and they'll see what they can do, depending on which country you're in. South America, sooner than you imagine. Marcelo Silva. Hola. WOMOCon 2022. What was the biggest highlight of your trip? Which trip? The Zanzibar trip? The Dubai trip? The other African trips? Hey, Big Pay. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well as well. The most beautiful country I've been to. Zanzibar's up there. The waters are incredible, the climate's incredible, the food's incredible, the spices are incredible, the people are incredible, the mobile network is incredible. World Mobile is a native token on Cardano, Youssef, yes. Earthnode updates, right. There's lots of Earthnode updates, but I'm going to allow Antonio to give you those Earthnode updates. What you should know is that the Earthnode has been designed to decentralize many parts of the existing telecom infrastructure, and it's modular built, and they're a very important part of the network. And when you get updates, you're going to be very excited by what we have to deliver and to show. Charles would not let me try his leather jacket on. I didn't ask, but I don't think it's a very special leather jacket to him. So there's limits there. We can hug each other, kiss each other, but I don't think I can try on his leather jacket. Antonio, when stop swinging? I'm on a boat. That's a good question, Jamie Leroy. How is World Mobile and Cardano working together? Okay. World Mobile and the Cardano Foundation and team have good discourse. We speak to each other, but mostly World Mobile and Iohk are working together to implement solutions mostly built on Cardano. This is how we work together. Gaz, Yes, sure. I'll make sure of that. Staking is very similar to Cardano when live with a few added facets. Okay, can you talk more about what you're up to in California? In California, we are building the two tiers. There's the World Mobile Network is built up of three tiers. It's the bottom tier, which is a mesh network. Very simple stuff. It's been around for a long time. The second tier is a low altitude platform, which runs at around 300 to 500 meters high in the air, tethered to an aerostat, with the solution hanging off of this around a 65 kilo payload. And then the third layer is the stratospheric layer, which is currently being run by balloons. We've tried with drones, but it looks like airships are going to be the future there. Any plans for mainland Tanzania? Absolutely. Prove it right first in Zanzibar. Get the sharing economy going. Let the world see what we've built. Show 1.3 million people connected at magnitudes different in price than other mobile network operators can, and then break out into Tanzania. In Tanzania, there's around 20 million customers waiting for us. In Kenya too, and these will be the first three destinations for World Mobile. Stephen van der Iohk, yes, you did read about a partnership with Iohk. We've been working with Iohk for well over 3 years now to build the World Mobile chain and to deliver on the promises that we've both made. Their promise is to bank the unbanked, but of course you need to connect the unconnected first. So we're supporting each other on every front, and definitely a partnership. Hey, Rob from Digital Asset News. Appreciate your support. 2021 exchange. Yes, sex. Yes, Dex. Yes, both. When World Mobile Spain? About 4 weeks. And then we'll start to explore possibilities to play here in Spain and to get some connectivity to those that really, really need it. Actually, many people think that connectivity is only low in the continent of Africa, but actually many places around the world suffer from huge connectivity issues. So we're coming to Spain as well, to some of the rural areas. A lot of the core team are here, and actually Enrique comes from a village that we will go and connect that still don't have fiber connectivity, and people are not able to progress there, and the younger generation have to move from there because they have slow internet here. Nice background. Is it future artwork of WM? Yes, it's in the cosmos, just above the Earth. Iohk, hey, what is WM developing regarding digital products? More specifically, how are the interfaces going to look like? What is in the pipeline? And are there any job openings regarding the design front? Always job openings regarding design. Designers are very hard to find. We are developing tons of digital products. Initially, we cannot rely on other people only to showcase what we need to be able to do. So there will be the World Mobile Bank, there will be the World Mobile Communicator, there will be insurance protocols, there'll be all types of things that we need to implement and that we need to build the front end for and probably be the face for. But in the end, we would love other people to come and offer their products to the newly connected worlds. Elliot, yes, you did comment on Twitter and you DM'd on the YouTube. We are going to reach out to you. If you've got people that can install microwave networks, that's awesome. There's still a part for microwave networks in our network. When are you all ready to start with installation and integration, you ask? We are already going with installation and integration, and this week or the beginning of next week, we should definitely jump on a call and see what we can do together. I know that the Iohk also said that Burkina Faso is on the cards. We'd also consider going there, and there's a few other places. Be interested to speak to you and find out where you're located. But yes, we have not forgotten about you. True and Arts. Hey, I love your stickers. Thank you very much for the banter that you give in the community. I cannot answer that, but the answer is probably no. Any plans for Cuba? At the WOCOM, I'll give you some nice stories about Cuba. Cuba is actually what myself and my brother first started working in telecommunications. We'd love to come to Cuba and support. I don't know if the government would allow an open licensing there. The telecommunications is massively controlled, but as and when they do, it will be one of the first countries that we apply for a license for. Are you a Fulham fan? I definitely am now. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'm a Fulham fan these days, and my kids are also Fulham fans these days. Are you planning to be a shirt sponsor for Ajax in the future? We're not shirt sponsors. We're actually partners with Fulham. They believe in connecting the unconnected. They believe in the mission that we've got going on in the African continent. But Ajax is not off the cards. I love Ajax. I lived in Amsterdam for some time. Very, very close to my heart, the city. Had my first son there. Yeah, love Ajax. The total team is around 50 people big, and we're growing, but we're growing with control. If you include deployment and consultants, then we're much bigger than 50, but the core is 50. If WMT prices go up, will EarthNode's amount of WMTs needed to go lower? Will it always be 20K USD in WMTs? EarthNodes will always be 100,000 World Mobile tokens. EarthNodes are a massive part of our network. You see there's only 1,000 EarthNodes available right now. I don't see this changing much in the future. And EarthNodes are going to become critical to the core of the World Mobile network and are hugely valued. So the answer is yes, there will always be 100,000 World Mobile tokens. Gonzalo, when Miley episode 4 and 5? Soon. Love it. What do I think about Skylink, or what do I think about Starlink? Jiri? Okay, Javi, about services. Will WM offer its own platform as an app once connected? What service do you think is a must-have? I mean, there's lots of services that are must-have. Educational services are must-have, banking services, entertainment services. I think that if you look at our telephones, there's a category of applications that we all use, and I don't think Africans are any different. As soon as they have access to affordable connectivity and reliable connectivity, then they will have those similar apps installed as well. Los Cardano, how do I imagine WM in the future, 2030? I imagine WM to be bringing out the 7th generation of telecommunications by 2030. I imagine WM to be the biggest sharing economy on the planet. I imagine WM to be the biggest mobile network operator that has ever existed, that's run by the people. Yes, Peter Carr, you will hear a lot more about WM Mission being promoted for Fulham. Pre-Christmas, we're going to have some very cool videos that will be coming out about our collaboration with Fulham. Fulham are fully behind this. What are the implications of Project Tara, Alphabet's laser project? We are working with Project Tara. The implications are fantastic for World Mobile. We're utilizing them in our stack, and we're testing and running trials on their free space optics solution. It's super cool stuff. It runs at around 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers at 20 gigabytes a second, and I think it can go even faster. The only problem with free space optics is when it rains, you have issues. So you need to have some kind of fallback solution. So we're working with other Google X projects and other projects in order to be able to bring those fallback solutions too. We love off-the-shelf equipment, and that's what Tara would be offering us. Gaston Diaz, dude, when do you think WM will be mainstream? I mean, we'll start to span hard. I think WM will be mainstream very, very soon. The demand is huge. We're laying down the infrastructure. We could be bringing on millions of customers right now, but that would be cheating because bringing on millions of customers is not the solution here. The solution is providing the sharing economy, a new economic model for the distribution of telecom infrastructure. So WM will be really mainstream in the middle to end of next year, and we can expect to see tens of millions of users picking up on the network, I believe. Yusuf Hamidi, I buy them, no problem. Greg Smith, absolutely correct. Earth nodes have a mechanism as well to allow people to delegate to them. So we expect as the evolution of Earth nodes happen, them to change hands a few times potentially. But Earth nodes absolutely are not valued incorrectly there. You'll wait for more news on that. I know 51 messages me regularly asking me for news. We have to wait for Antonio to bring that news, but you'll see it and you'll be very excited. Teshin, I can't comment on that, but we've been there for a long time, and we're super connected in the right ways. We've brought value to Tanzania, we've brought value to Zanzibar, and we'll continue to do so. Maxwell, have you guys had talks with other heads of state? We have around 18 different countries right now that are asking WM to come and support them with the connectivity. We're focused on three: Zanzibar, Tanzania, and Kenya. The other 15 we have got lined up, and we'll be focusing on them once we've proven what we need to prove in the aforementioned. Sergio Ruz Sanchez, do you plan to increase the supply more until I list, or do you think you've already ripped off buyers enough? I think stuff you, dude. We definitely don't plan to increase the supply in any way, and I don't think we've ripped anybody off. I think that actually we've opened a sharing economy that is the world's first viable sharing economy, and we're going to go full force. When will token holders be able to use the system? Well, token holders can use the system in two ways. They'll be able to use the system to stake and to be able to run and operate the air nodes and the earth nodes. And token holders will also be able to stake WMTs in order to be able to access membership type packages. I think that the beginning of January, you'll start to see consumers be using WMTs, not to buy services. They'll never use WMT to buy services. Unless they want to peer-to-peer, which doesn't make any sense because it's a utility. But yeah, I think that people will be able to start staking, using and getting membership benefits in January, February. And I think that a little bit past that, the first nodes will go live in the sharing economy on the ground in Zanzibar. When Pakistan? Pakistan's Zindabad. In Spain, will you only go to rural areas, and in what province? I can't confirm that yet. Initially, we will go only to the rural areas because that's where connectivity is needed the most, and that's obviously as a business where the demand is the highest too. So if we're the only ones that could provide that connectivity, then we're pretty sure of our business acumen and our ability to be able to see a business opportunity. But eventually, as is in the name, we will take the technology and it can work inner cities as well, and challenge existing mobile infrastructure. Thanks, Ahmed. We're open to working in Ethiopia. John, I speak to John every day. As soon as he's ready or he invites us, then we'll absolutely come and enter into that market. There is some talks already. What can the community do to help? Okay, that's a great question. The community can make the awareness. This is the most important part. My major mission is to make people aware that half the world is unconnected. And then my real major mission is to connect those people. If you can start to spread the words and you can start to explain to everybody and speak to everybody that this is something that should be acknowledged, that every other person on the planet can't speak to the other, this is what you can do. This is the start of it all. Awareness, education. Would you like partnering with Starlink if you could? Sure. Keep an eye out. Thank you, Pavel. I really appreciate that. Is 3Air competition? I met 3Air when they were K3, before they were 3Air. They talked to some of our team. We were looking to trial some of their equipment in our stack, just as if we would trial Motorola or Ubiquiti or any other Ruckus or any other brand. Are they competition? No. Are they connecting the unconnected? I think so. Are they banking the unbanked? Are they trying to? Yeah, I think so too. Are there many crossovers? Yeah, absolutely. But sure, good luck on their mission. They're not competition. Thank you, Michael. It all starts with the younger generations, right, Jeff? They need to be aware and they need to be able to spread the words and they need to be able to be conscious of what's happening on the planet. This is the last great puzzle of humankind, is the fact that half the world is unconnected. It's actually much more than half the world. Around 30% of the world have meaningful connectivity, and around another 20% of the world have non-meaningful, and then the 50% of the world is unconnected in general. Any plans for Somalia? Absolutely. Sure, all of the East Coast. Hey, Sunday Swap. We love what you're doing too. Are we facing any issues with our deployment in Zanzibar? Absolutely no issues at all. Just that we can't go faster. I push every single day. We are a regulated company. We're pushing as fast as we can. I wish we could push even faster. I want to get these balloons in the sky. I want to get the maritime equipment out. I want to get the blue economy. I want to catch the illegal fishermen. I learned that in Zanzibar, 44% of the fish, don't quote me, but I think this is correct, is imported from China. Yet Zanzibar and Tanzania has some of the richest fish reserves in the world. So you can imagine what's disappearing from the ocean there. So with our balloons in the sky and using IoT spectrums, Sigfox and such, we'll be able to deploy buoys out at sea that are able to detect this and bring an economy back to the islands, and actually back to all the shores around there too. Thank you very much, Simon. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're a part of this too. WMT in Madagascar, it's coming as well. Just let us get these first two countries and Zanzibar right. Can I talk more about the WM balloons all day long? We should do an AMA just on balloons. Can you talk about the biggest hurdles right now? That's an interesting question. We're very fortunate when we approach our government or we approach a regulator for a mobile network operator license or ability to be able to run trials in their country. We don't tend to face hurdles like others because we're actually bringing something that they desperately need and want. And it's part of their job as a minister of communications or as a regulator or as a president to connect their countries. So hurdles is not something we found that we faced. I think we faced those many years ago as a team. Now it's just time. I can't make the time go faster. I wish I could, but it's just a matter of time before the nodes get laid down on the ground and the balloons go up. And then this is hugely scalable. The balloons, okay, so the low altitude platform balloons are tethered to the ground. They've got a trailer. The trailer has a fiber optics link up. The trailer has power. It can provide sufficient power to anything that's hoisted on the bottom of the balloon. It's not called a balloon. It's called an aerostat. Typically, and it goes between 300 to 500 meters. The balloons in the stratosphere, no, they're not tied. They're floating around in figures of eights, projecting RAN on the floor for the aerostats to pick up. The aerostats are then distributing that to standard handsets via traditional spectrum, or the aerostats are sending a signal down to the mesh, and then people are picking up via Wi-Fi. What do I think of WMT compared to 3Air? I think there's no comparison. 3Air are a broadband provider. They're looking to connect people to a huge service fee every month. They said their average revenue is $120 in Sierra Leone. But there is no comparison. We're a mobile network operator providing broadband services and cellular services. They're essentially a B2B, B2C house broadband service. Dawn, that's a really good question. Local regulations and laws prohibited us from allowing people in Tanzania to benefit or to take part in the sharing economy. So they weren't included, no. But the local air node holders in Tanzania, they will have WMTs in order to be able to lock into their air nodes, to turn their air nodes on and provide service. So at that point, they'll absolutely be included, and they'll be earning the rewards that other people can't earn unless you're local to the country and hosting the infrastructure. There'll be more information about the partnership with Boson Protocol. We're going to be doing some really epic stuff. Again, connectivity is massive to them and their mission. Why did we start in Zanzibar? We started in Zanzibar because we love the islands. We started in Zanzibar because it's a perfect example of something with 1.3 million people. It's got everything. It's got one completely unconnected island or nearly unconnected. And it's got a residential area, a peri-urban area, a tourist area. It represents on small scale something big. And with a balloon, we can do some special things, and with the mesh network on the ground, we can really showcase World Mobile's network there. No, not at all, Pavel. Vodacom and Airtel in Tanzania will be supporting them. They can't reach those areas. If they could, they'd already be there. The infrastructure isn't there, and they actually need a solution like World Mobile to be able to get to those areas. So in some cases, we'll act as a neutral host to them as well, or for them. Air nodes right now are costing between $5,000 to $7,000, and we hope we can get that price closer to that $5,000 consistently. Helium network is very interesting. 5G is a regulated spectrum, so anybody hosting a helium network technically is not regulated, and they're not regulated under the helium because helium don't have a license to operate. So actually, they're breaking rules, which is really hard for really a no-go for a mobile network operator. But I guess they have their own reason for that. I love what they're doing. I think it's really cool. It's just you can't go giving out spectrum or asking people to host spectrum if you're not regulated and you haven't paid for that spectrum. Why avoiding the early staking questions? Ask the early staking questions in the Telegram group, please, and the team will get back to you. Cedric's been working. I love Cedric. He's a good friend of mine. He's been working on some NFTs and he's been working on some of his own projects, but we're still in regular contact. We speak every couple of weeks, and if he needs me, I'm here, and if I need him, he's there. And he's a great part of the WM community. Now that is the best question of the day, Warrior and Weirdo. When next WM song? When jamming with Rick Middleton? I'm coming to England. We're gonna do a jam and we'll put it online. This is a good question to end it on. Are you planning to do more AMAs? Yes, and hopefully without the technical issues that we had before. I think I understand how to do it now. And I'd like to say thank you very much for you being an epic community. Thank you very much for being part of this AMA. Thank you very much for everything that you do for World Mobile. And we really did kickstart the sharing economy with style. And we're going to go out before the end of the year with some even more style. And you're going to be very happy with what you see. Thank you very much again. I'm hanging up. Over and out. Thanks.